Wood Cacace tonight. Lee Wood, Nottingham Arena, Saturday night. Can't fail to entertain. He's had an amazing second half of his career after being a promising young fighter under Dominic Ingle or Brendan Ingle. Well schooled, but he's got on to so much success and so many impressive performances, and just under Ben Davison looks like a fighter who really knows that he has the ability to find a way to win in every fight. They do their homework. I think that's well documented, and I'm sure this fight will be no different, and he'll have a clear plan on what he needs to do to win. But he's such an entertaining fighter as well. He thinks his way through fights. He's not really all action. He's not really front foot pressure fighter. He'll deploy different tactics to win fights. He in this fight I can see him kind of working away, chipping away at Cacace, in between Cacace's pressure, trying to break him down. Cacace, similar to Wood, has had a fantastic kind of Indian summer to his career. Really high pressure, high volume fighter. Really good to watch as well. I think the two styles will gel really well. He's a switch hitter. He's pretty long. He's certainly longer than Lee Wood is. His straight shots have a lot of snap, and his output with those straight shots really creates the opportunities for him to set his feet a little bit closer, and to let his hands go. And he's gonna, I think, in this fight, he's gonna try and apply pressure and break down Lee Wood with that work rate and with that volume. Both fighters could get old overnight in this fight. They're both 36, and I think you have to, when you look at kind of pre-fight predictions and the way a fight might go, you have to acknowledge that there's a possibility that one or both of them are going to see a decline in their performance, their physical capabilities. From a weight perspective, I think Cacace's tight at super featherweight, and I suspect it'll be harder for him to prepare for this fight physically than it will be for Lee Wood. But then you can offset that with the possibility that Lee Wood, stepping up from featherweight to super feather, doesn't quite have as much physical presence in the ring as Cacace does. It's his first fight up at super featherweight because he's been dead at the weight the last few fights, according to him and his team. And if you look at his performances, he's looked slow and laboured and a little bit flat to begin with. He certainly got outboxed by Josh Warrington in Sheffield 18 months ago for 5 or 6 rounds before he started to find a way. And what he always carries is that ability with both hands to change a fight with one punch or a combination of punches. His finish against Josh Warrington was unbelievable. About 5 or 6 really high quality punches on the button, creating the distance that he needed as Josh Warrington was falling into him, to give him such a concussive barrage of punches that whether or not you thought the stoppage was right or not, watch it back again, and it was just fantastic work, and he's always got the opportunity to do that. So how do I think the fight will go? As I say, I think Cacace will apply pressure and volume, combination of straight shots, and then as he works his way into range, he'll let his hands go a little bit closer. He'll switch between orthodox and southpaw, and he'll look to try and break down Lee Wood. And he'll ask the question: can you go with me at this volume for into the late stages of the fight? On the flip side, I think Lee Wood will be more circumspect. He'll take his time. He'll look to try and deal with the pressure by probably shooting to the body, I suspect, and trying to slow Cacace down at times, enough to kind of disincentivize him to stop coming forward quite as much. He'll box probably more on the back foot naturally, because he's not going to want to go and put the pressure on. And I don't think he's got the gears or the game to go and put front foot pressure on in the same way that Cacace can do to him. So I think it'll be a case of intelligent movement, tying him up at times. It's intelligent footwork, intelligent punch placement to be able to, as I say, just to slow him down in between the barrages. And I think he'll be looking to break him down over a period of time. I think, how can Lee Wood win this fight? I think the most likely way that I can see is when Cacace switches. As he gets a little bit more reckless as the fight goes on. If the fight goes past 4 or 5 rounds, Cacace, obviously the snap in his punches will start to diminish a little bit, but what he'll also be looking to do is to get a little bit more leverage with his shots when he switches between orthodox and southpaw, and that gives him the opportunity that he does carry decent pop, not one punch power, but decent pop with both hands, particularly when he switches his feet and uses his hips to get a little bit more leverage into his shots. But that comes with danger as well. And I think when he does that, he has to be in the pocket, or he has to be close enough for Lee Wood to be able to catch him as well. And I think if Lee Wood is looking for those moments when he's switching, he'll get him squared up, and that might be the chance for him to go and hit him on the button. And when Lee Wood hits you on the button, even though Cacace's never been stopped, that's when fights start to change quite quickly. So what do I think will happen in terms of the ultimate fight prediction? It's hard to go against Cacace when you look at all of the attributes that he has, when you look at the physicality and the size, the length that he has, the punch volume, and the fact that, like I say, he's never been stopped. But I'm still going to go against him with slightly heart, I suppose, in as much as I think Lee Wood is just an unbelievable fighter, and I respect his dog. He always finds enough dog in him to find a way to win. So even if he isn't quite finding those punches, or Cacace is a bit more durable than you think he is, I think when you get him down the straight 9, 10, 11, 12, then Wood will be a little bit better at the weight, a little bit stronger at the weight with the extra 4 pounds, and as long as he hasn't had a huge kind of process of diminishing his qualities because of age, then I think you get into that kind of dogfight situation. His work to the body, which I think he'll have been doing all the way through the fight, will really start to break down Cacace. If you think about what he did to Michael Conlan, a lot of that was not about the punches to the head, it was about the work that he did to put water in the basement, as Teddy Atlas calls it. And I think that's where he can win the fight, by breaking him down, breaking down his structure, and either finishing him late on, or having done enough work in those championship rounds to edge a really close one, because he's definitely going to lose rounds early on. It wouldn't surprise me if Cacace is 5-1 up after 6 rounds. So whatever happens, I think it's going to be an amazing fight to watch. Enjoy.